Hi, everybody. A little more information on exercise 8. Part of this is me going over this with you because there's a number of different steps to things. Um, Part of it is just to give you the real sense of, my tone and what I want. So here we've been working on, questions of style and voice during the week, or at least talking about it and reading some stories on it. And I want you to have the opportunity to try this out. So what the goal of this exercise, this is just a print exercise, and the goal is for you to write some kind of scene that uses a particular style or voice of your choice, and it doesn't have to be realistic at all. I just want you to push it as hard and as far to the extremes. Whatever it is, your goal is to make it as extreme as possible. So if it's a certain kind of diction, you make it to the nth degree that way. If you're working on syntax, maybe the verb comes as the last word in every sentence. Maybe you even do that by an algorithm that chooses it. But you really take it far. I want it to be weird and maybe unreadable a little bit and strange. So first thing you want to do is choose a style. Now you've read a little bit on style, so you know that style is composed of many things. It could be a certain kind of vocabulary, a street lingo, a bandwidth, meaning like a vocabulary of a particular profession, or it could be something about genre. I always laugh at Vikings because we don't really know how Vikings talked very well. We don't have audio recordings. We have some good guesses, but probably what we see on TV is just our kind of Hollywood rendition of Vikingness. Whatever you choose, it could be that, it could be sentence structure. I love seeing people try to do things like write nothing but four-word sentences the whole time, and maybe there are fragments, or have you only fragments, no verbs, or have everything be one sentence. I've read 500-page novels that are one sentence. It's a great challenge to be both creative and still get what you want to across. I'm suggesting that you read both the Wells Tower and the Nate Liederbach stories because they are messing with style in very extreme ways. In the Wells Tower, it's sort of doing what you're going to be doing here, which is taking one kind of content and using a style that is very unlike that content. In the Nate Liederbach story, it's almost like he's moving from genre to genre every sentence, which is a kind of unnerving thing to do. So once you've developed your style, you're going to write your content. And here we're going to start with nonfiction, the strangest or funkiest or most serious time that you had to go to a doctor when you were a child or a teen. Maybe you lost a tooth, maybe you had a broken bone, whatever it was. I want you to write about that. For me, it was tripping on a nail and busting my knee and, remembering how painful that was and my parents watching and my sister being like, "What's up?" and the doctor with the scrub brush and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So describe that in as much detail as you can. But what I want you to do is use the style you've chosen, which should be very different than the content. All right, once you've got that, I want you to do a little bit of revision, and that is in two different ways. One, see where the language isn't going to that extreme and make it go to that extreme. Maybe you fictionalize it with new or added details. Replace something, a detail that is vivid but not very telling with something a little crazier. Maybe you change the weather. Maybe you change something in there. We change lots of things, but make it go to the nth degree. And then take the style itself and make it go to the nth degree. So, maybe you decided to write four-word sentences, but some of them were 10 words, and you start chopping them up into four-word sentences. Take it far. So that's what you need to do. I want to see the end result after part 3. For a challenge from a Twine perspective, I want you to realize that you've actually written 3 Twine branches. You've written kind of like normal story, nonfiction, normal story with style, and then normal style with style, and then you're fictionalizing it. So you actually have a branching pathway already built in. And you could actually see where you could create branches, not just based on what happens in a story, but how you tell the story. Just for fun, I'm going to pull up here Raymond Queneau's Exercises in Style, which is a single scene told 80 or 90 or 100 different ways. So those could be your branches. They're playing with language instead of with content. All right, that is exercise 8. Enjoy.